Hey folks, real quick before we get started, go over to EddiePepitone.com to see all of his live tour dates. Looks like the Lincoln Lodge in Chicago. He's going to be in Chicago for a couple of dates. Oshkosh, Janesville, La Crosse. Check out EddiePepitone.com for all of his tour dates. If you want more of this podcast, go to Patreon.com/EddiePepitone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. And here he is again. He's practically invisible with his camouflage shirt. It's Eddie Pepitone!
Hey everybody, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside, where we chronicle the absolute disintegration of all we love. And that includes this gentleman right next to me. Please welcome Kevin Tinkin.
Hey folks, how we doing? The disintegration of me being chronicled.
Well, all of it.
Yeah.
You know, and you're loved, and that's why I said love. By the way, something we didn't mention last episode with Fine Arts, Steve Fine Arts, who we had on, is that, and I gave you the picture, a guy in Ann Arbor came dressed as the Italian alien.
Yes. Yeah, I'll put that up right now. Yeah. That's
isn't that great?
Amazing.
So you could put that up. Yeah, it was so funny. At first, I didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but then he goes, "Oh yeah, Italian." He had an Italian flag. He had like alien like antennae, and I was like, and he had like a chef's hat.
Perfect.
You know, because I'm always doing the Italian alien in the restaurant.
Yeah.
It was very cool. And by the way, we need more of that stuff, folks. If you can get your hands on an Italian flag, or perhaps, you could drive in the rain. Start doing the characters that make this podcast a household name.
Absolutely.
At least in 3,000 households per month.
At least. At the very least.
Cumulatively, we don't even know.
Cumulatively, it's
I think
gangbusters. I mean, it's wild.
So yeah, that was a real pleasant surprise. I wanted to talk a little bit. I got back from the road, and now I'm going out on the road again. But
how you feeling?
I'm tired.
You tired?
I'm tired. A lot of that is mental.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who is so empathetic, and there's so much pain around me in this society. It's just in my apartment building, really. but then when you pan out into the whole society, I mean, if you're a sensitive, if you're someone who's an empath and you give a shit, it's not easy to do that and kind of stay
sane.
Sane is a good word.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you, buddy. I really do.
How you doing with your mental health? I mean, mental health, it kind of came to the forefront with the pandemic.
Yes.
But I think mental health, and that's one reason I started this podcast. There's been a mental health crisis in this country because people have just been completely disowned by this system. They're not taken care of. Even if you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, which advises you to take cold plunges.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever done that, by the way?
I have.
Really?
Oh yeah.
How is a cold plunge?
It's cold.
It's cold. You heard it here, folks.
No, it's I mean, I guess it's energizing, but I mean, I had a buddy who had a sauna, and it was very cold, so we go in the sauna, and then we jump in the freezing pool, and then we do that. And then I've done an actual literal ice plunge before too. I used to do Polar Bear Club when I was like in junior high.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where?
That would be at Hume Lake. We would go up there
in Central Cali.
It's Sierra National Forest.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Where it would be chilly.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours from Central California. But yeah, there would literally be in the ice, in the snow, and we'd jump in there with our swimsuits on, a bunch of junior high boys just, having fun and, being idiots. And it was a blast.
Yeah. Well, the Polar Bear Club, that's funny because they still have a famous one in Coney Island, Brooklyn, where I forget what day they do it. I don't know, Christmas. I don't know. It's
we got to get out there.
January, maybe New Year's Day or something. And I always felt it was too chilly.
Yeah.
You know, I as far as cold plunges, I like hot showers.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been taking hot showers. There. It's New Year's Day. I got it. New Year's Day polar bear plunge.
That's great.
Notice none of them are underwater, those pricks.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Vegan. Yeah. I think I know that dude.
Well, you mentioned a hot shower. My wife...
my wife,
she'll tell me, she goes, "You're not horny enough. You need to go take a hot shower," and she'll force me in there.
Yeah,
and I just get warmer. I don't get any hornier though. It's very odd.
Yeah, if you want to get a little hornier, I suggest just hit that little marijuana.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
That's an aphrodisiac. I think. Yeah.
I'm always usually alone. When I'm getting real,
when you're getting
revved
horny.
up, I'm high as shit. I'm horny out of my mind.
Well, I mean, and that's a big part of life is being alone.
Yes.
And we are going to face death alone. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We are, we're a podcast that doesn't shy away from death and the things that are going to kill us.
Yeah.
Fascism. And fascism is born out of the inequality that we're seeing economically, financially, where the money is still going to a handful of billionaires.
Yeah.
And the rest of the country and the world really haves and have-nots. And that leads to mental illness.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about having mental illness is it's the benefit of it.
I feel
is
a joke coming on.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Our jokes come out of this disintegration.
Yes.
And this, I mean, a lot of podcasts. Here's my impression of most podcasts, right? You join in with me. I'm telling you, my favorite snack is the Sticky Willy. You ever have a Sticky Willy?
Fuck the Sticky Willy.
What do you like?
Bullshit. I'm a Twinkie guy through and through.
Yeah, but come on. How old the Twinkies? Come on.
Not as old as you, pal.
Here's another impersonation of podcasts. Ready? Jill Fredericks was murdered at 7:25 in Rhinebeck, New York. She was bludgeoned to death. Police immediately went to her boyfriend. I don't think it was her boyfriend. Now, they keep saying it's her boyfriend. That guy couldn't swing a hammer. He had the arm that had no bones.
He had one of those no-bone arms?
Yeah, you fucking read the... Why are they always focusing immediately on the boyfriend? This is the neighbor who killed Jill.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, especially you think the no bones would immediately eliminate the police's detectives from focusing
They're
on
idiots. The cops are it. So that's my impression that people talk about food. What else do they talk about? They talk about murders.
They food, talk sex.
Oh, conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy.
Is sex a big thing? I didn't know they were talking a lot about.
Oh, you can't swing a dead cat in this town without hitting two podcasters talking about sex.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
What are the popular ones? I have to start listening.
Guys we fucked.
Guys we fucked.
Yeah, that's one of them. God. And that might as well encompass every podcast of that genre. And those guys are
Guys we fucked podcast. Here we go. Are they Guys we fucked on Apple?
Dude,
who are the women? It's Corinne Fisher and Christina, spelt weird, Hutchinson. Okay. Well, good for them. I just think it's so fucking... Like, if I did a podcast called Girls...
Yeah.
Or if we did a podcast called Girls We Fucked...
Yeah.
It would be a one and done.
Oh, especially
it would be maybe a half hour.
Yeah. I just show a picture of my wife.
Yeah, basically.
That's it.
That's first of all, I think fucking is something you don't approach cavalierly. I don't think it's something you approach casually. If you're gonna fuck someone, it involves your whole being. And not just your sexual organs.
Yeah.
And I imagine, and tell me if I'm right or not, but Guys We Fucked and all these other podcasts of that ilk Are they drunk most of the time when they fuck these people?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I mean, I know
they're making more money than us, which good for them.
Those guys are making millions. Yeah,
millions?
100%. Yes, multiple millions.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad to me. This shit gets me sad,
dude. I mean,
that's sad. The country is just it's a morass of intellectual vacuity. There is no one. Maybe intellect is the wrong word. It's just an evolved. No one is. So many people just are not evolved enough to get past their basic instincts.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's all that thing of the reality
Including
that
me.
people are.
Yeah.
I think it's all the sloughing off of reality. It's distraction, just like you said. And what better way to distract than two attractive girls talking about having sex? You know, I mean, it's so
I can't imagine
baseline.
how that does. You know what's hilarious is how do they keep that going? Oh, they must have guests. That's what they have. They have to have guests, right?
I don't know, Alex.
They have to have guests because or else they're really fucking a lot of guys to keep this going.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a lot of like what happened this last weekend and whatnot.
Can you read it? Go ahead, read it, Kev.
Oh, Guys We Fucked is a weekly podcast hosted by New York-based comedians, collectively known as Comedy is Sorry About Last Night. Oh, that was their comedy duo.
Hutchinson landed an internship at Saturday Night Live, and a writer for the show suggested.
Described as an anti-slut-shaming podcast by the show's hosts.
What is it?
Described as an anti-slut-shaming podcast, which is also what we've described this podcast as.
I see. Yes, we have.
Yes.
Just to try to get some viewers.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's stop reading that shit. But, whatever. I just think that's let's do a podcast about fucking. Let's do our impersonation of a podcast about fucking. Ready? So anyway, I walk in, and there she is.
Is she have big tits?
She had beautiful breasts.
Fuck yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say big tits. I'm not stooping to your level. We're talking about my mother here.
Oh, Jesus.
No, this is...
Now the podcast just got good.
Now, I threw a little wrench in that one.
You did.
So I'll start again. Ready?
Thank you.
I'll start again. So anyway, I'm just fixing, this woman's air conditioning. I live next door. I'm fixing the air conditioner. I notice she says, "Would you like some iced tea?" I say, "Yeah." She comes back. She's got absolutely... The only thing she had on was a smile.
That sounds pretty good.
Were you ever a handyman?
Oh, I was a handyman. Yeah, I used to be a plumber. And
did you ever get any action based on that?
Every woman that would answer the door, she'd answer in a negligee. And
is that right?
The turds are over here.
That's when America was great.
Yeah.
When women would have they feel safe enough when they knew a handyman was coming to open the door in a negligee with nothing much on and say, "Well, how do?"
Yeah.
And they even took a southern accent, even if they lived in Brooklyn.
Yeah. The toilet's right over here, mister. You didn't happen to bring your plunger, did you?
Yeah, they were very seductive back then. Now, with AI intelligence.
You're going to snake my pipe, Mr. Sir?
By the way, we have gotten some... I want to thank people, by the way. We've had an uptick in Patreon membership, and we've had some really good comments, and there's been a couple of great emails, and I want to thank everybody. I didn't do that last podcast, but thank you guys for subscribing and interacting. And somebody wrote in about AI. Fuck, I forget who it was. It might have been Michael Grossman. I don't know, but did you read the Patreon? But he was saying that it's all a bunch of bullshit, that these things are going to take over humanity, and that it was almost a publicity stunt for AI to do this agreement.
Really?
Yeah, to do this agreement about the extinction of humanity, and that AI is just basically cherry picking information off of the internet. Like, can you write a poem in Dr. Seuss's style, but also in the style of Bert Kreischer or whatever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I
think it was Michael Grossman who was saying that, but I'm not sure.
I love all our Patreons. It's a
they're
nice little
smart.
treat.
They're
yeah,
smart.
They are. It's just nice to get a little something, a little shout out. Hey, we see you. We know you're alive.
Well, yeah, and we've been having more interactions. So thank you for that. I just want to mention that. And I was just thinking about the AI stuff again, and it's so funny that I get into stuff, and I started looking up AI, and I started signing up for these fucking AI websites where you can then explore, and I was into it, and then do you do this? And then I was like, fuck it. Yeah. I drop it. Do you do that a lot?
Yeah, I mean,
start things then stop.
I made probably 20-something videos of you doing stand-up, and I hated every single rendering of it because the video just didn't look right, and I literally just I was just like, I can't. It's not there
really?
yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I sent you a couple of them where you turned into Putin on stage and like that one.
Oh, right.
But there's definitely, I know way more about it than I did before, but I was just annoyed because you put in the directives for the videos, and then it'll take an hour to spit something out.
Oh, it takes an hour?
Yeah. For some of the longer videos. Are you
paying
videos.
For this, too?
Yeah.
How much?
I think Kyber was like $25 a month or something like that.
Are you still doing it?
I'm still paying for it, yeah, but I haven't used it in a while. But it's
we keep paying for things, and I'm not just talking about our mistakes in life, but we keep paying for websites. I pay for so many different fucking websites now that I never watch.
Yeah.
That I never interact with. But does anybody have this? And you answer this, Kev, because you're the only one here, really, except for Alex can answer too. Alex, our producer. Can you do you I forgot what I was going to say now. I have taken over your brain.
We're talking about...
You will only think of orchietta pasta with broccoli rabe and the distant galaxy from which I come. I will suck out your brain and use it in an Italian soup.
You were talking about subscriptions that you're paying for that you don't use.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing I wanted to say is I have this weird thing then about canceling.
Oh, yeah.
Like if I cancel it, even though I'm not using it, I'll be like, yeah, but I want to see that movie. Mm-hmm. And I don't cancel, and I never watched the movie, but I don't want to cancel. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Gym memberships were always like that for me. Where I would have a gym membership, I would be solid, and then I would stop. And then it would be like 6, 8 a year later, and I'd go and I go, oh man, I've been getting charged $30 a month for that for the last year, and I have gone once, and like, oh, you really should cancel that. And I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna start going back, and then I never do.
That's me with all these, like the Criterion Channel, which are old great movies, and I haven't been watching it for so long.
Yeah.
I'll start something like The Night Hunter. I don't know if you know that with Robert Mitchum.
Yeah.
He's got love, hate written on his hand.
We got to go to the old Bev and watch some old classics. That's so fun.
Yeah. Me and Steve went one night and saw. It was just an old kung fu movie.
I love it. Yeah, somebody just messaged me about going tonight.
What's playing tonight?
New
Beverly is a Quentin Tarantino owned cinema here in Los Angeles.
He was going to go see Taxi Driver.
Oh, that'll be sold out because everybody will be running to that like little fucking lemmings.
Yeah, and I guess next week they're going to do The Thin Red Line.
What's that one?
I'm not sure. I think it's...
that'll be less full.
Yeah. But
I love The Thin Blue Line. As far as thin line movies, colors, I'll go... Thin Blue Line was about this guy getting incarcerated. Errol Morris. Morris, about a man who was in unjustly accused of a murder.
Is that one's about the cops, the Thin Blue Line? Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And
I know some
Thin
stuff.
Red Line, I guess that's firemen.
Yeah, I wonder.
Look, can you punch up Thin Red Line for us?
I think it's a Russian. I don't know.
It feels like a Russian sub thing.
The Thin. Oh, I see Sean Penn. I see Nick Nolte, 1998. Can you read it, Kev? I can't.
Thin Red Line is a 1998 American epic film written and directed by Terrence Malick.
Interesting.
It's a second screen adaptation of the 1962 novel by the same name of James Joyce. Interesting. Yeah.
James Jones, not James Joyce.
Oh,
That's
Jones.
a big
Thank you.
misstep right there. Telling a
Jimmy
fictionalized.
Joyce?
Here's what the movie's about. Telling a fictionalized version of the Battle of Mount Austin, which was part of the Guadalcanal campaign in the Pacific Theater of World War II. It portrays U.S. soldiers of Company 1st Battalion, 27th Infantry Regiment, 25th Infantry Division, played by Sean Penn, Jim Caviezel, Nick Nolte, Elias Koteas, and Ben Chaplin. The novel's title alludes to a line from Rudyard Kipling's poem Tommy, in which he calls British foot soldiers the thin red line of heroes, referring to the stand of the 93rd Regiment in the Battle of Balaclava.
Welcome back to a movie
of the Crimean War. Crimean War film. I'd see that. It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Also to see Sean Penn acting like with the British accent would be hilarious to me. I mean, it's about a British regiment.
Let me ask you about this, because we were talking a little bit with Steve about the strikes and whatnot and all that stuff. And
that's right.
Are you seeing some projects get slowed down?
Well, you know what's funny, dude, is that I did 2 animated shows.
Yeah.
I did voiceovers for 2 shows. One was for this DC Comics thing called Noonans that I have a funny part on. It's about a bar of superheroes, and I play an alcoholic, the only alcoholic who thinks he's a superhero. And then the other one was Rami, the comedian Rami, who had a Hulu show, now is an animated Hulu show, and I did this funny Italian. I did an Italian mobster, not an alien, and not an Italian alien, but an Italian mobster. And I did him yesterday, and I think that
did?
Yeah, I think that was getting in just under the deadline of the SAG strike. But I hear there are waivers too that they're doing, meaning, you'll be able to work on a certain project. I don't know how it works, but
I just heard that they're.
What are you hearing?
I saw something about the Deadpool movie, Deadpool 2 with Ryan Reynolds. That they're
never
having.
saw they're supposed to be funny. Sorry, I'm yawning because I've just been traveling too much. Go ahead.
Well, anytime I mention Ryan Reynolds, I know you start to yawn a little bit. No, but he improvises most of his lines, but because of the writer's strike. During production, they're not going to let him improvise any lines. He has to use the pre-written lines, so it'll be a completely different movie. But I thought that was so interesting that because of the writer's strike, you can't even improvise lines on a movie.
And that must be an agreement that the writers struck.
I guess. I'm assuming. Right. Because the studios, I can see them being real slimy. Like, are you going to strike on writing? Everybody improvise. You know what I mean? Like, I could definitely see that happening. So I wonder if that was part of the deal. Like, no, you can't even improvise.
No.
Have you ever been under an improvisation restriction before? No.
Well,
improvisation.
Recently, as we didn't really tell this story, but the improv police broke in here. I was doing a driving in the rain, and they said enough. It makes no sense.
They said, let's see the script, and they had a gun to my head. I go, it's all made up off the top of his head, and we thought so.
But yeah, so the writers are striking, and the actors are next. And my understanding was these strikes were basically because studios, they fucking, and Netflix is the big one, but they fucking hide money from people.
Well, they don't tell how popular things are.
Right. And they claim, I was reading the studio side recently, they claim that if they said how unpopular some shows were, they wouldn't be able to get advertising.
Interesting.
So I don't know. I mean, but they're so full. I don't trust these motherfuckers. Studios have been hiding money from actors and writers and whoever forever.
Yeah.
Since the inception.
Yeah.
And corporations in general are I mean, they're based on fucking corruption.
Yeah. Have you ever written a screenplay?
No, I've written plays. Did I finish a screenplay? No. I've written some treatments, some plays, but I haven't written a screenplay. It's hard.
Yeah.
How about you?
I've written, I've done groups where groups of writers.
Well, you've gotten a lot into the group sex thing. Is this an offshoot?
It is. It is.
Welcome to the Group Sex Podcast. I'm Dom Stevens. We're going to talk about fucking in groups.
That's right.
And
we do
I know
writing.
we make about $1 million a month from this podcast because we talk about sex. Kev, you recently were invited over to a group sex thing, and it had to do with it was actually you're from Central Valley. It was a produce sex orgy thing, huh?
Yeah, it was.
How did that work out?
Well, I was told that it was just kind of a farmer's market, and of course I showed up.
I guess in a way it was.
I showed up with my eggplant. What I mean?
Yeah.
I was ready to
Here
go.
we go. Anyway, so the writers and the actors next, the directors, of course, immediately settled. They did not stand in solidarity.
No?
They immediately settled because they are scum, in my opinion, for doing that. And you have to organize. The Teamsters are great, man. They will not cross a picket line. And you gotta love that, man.
There has to be a threat of death from the union in order for it to be as effective as possible.
Did you see The Irishman? It was about Hoffa. Pacino played Hoffa.
Love that movie, yeah.
And De Niro played a hitman.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Painting houses, they called it. Because the blood would go from somebody's skull. The blood would go on a wall.
Yeah, I think you should play a heavy for the writers' union and the actors' union. I
should do a character like that. Like, let me tell you something. Who could write Extraction 2 among you? All right, maybe that's a bad example.
Dude, I literally just watched Extraction 2. That's
You're
so
kidding.
Funny. Yeah,
How
I watched
was
it 2 nights ago. It's actually great for an action movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what is the premise? Because I keep seeing the poster on a corner where I live.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is this about a dentist? Because Extraction, I think of pulling teeth. Now, what is it about? What's the premise?
Now the bicuspids are in trouble. No, it's about a man who goes, basically hired ex-government military to go and find a child and bring them out of being kidnapped, or whatever. But as far as like a shoot 'em up, bloody like action, it's good and it's it's entertaining and there's not a lot.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, I think so. It's Thor. Whoever is that Hemsworth?
Oh yes, that is.
Yeah.
Did I get it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Thor. Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's not. It's not 16 Candles, which I always use as a reference for the greatest
16
movies.
Candles was one of the bloodiest films I have ever seen.
Yeah, it was
if
wild.
I'm thinking of the same 16 Candles. Is that where the candles are shoved? Oh, no, I'm thinking of a porn. Okay.
That was on a website that you saw.
Yeah.
That was not a national
I had
release.
gotten misdirected by a rogue server. Did you ever come across a rogue server?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, those people are crazy. Let's do a driving in the rain. We haven't done one.
All right, I'm ready to go.
Let's do it.
And now, Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
The atmospheric pressure over Los Angeles was unbearable. And I don't know if many of you have heard of an atmospheric river, but it's when moisture over the Pacific comes on land, and it's a literal river, more than the Mississippi, and it was pouring down on LA, and it was inundating not only entire communities, entire villages, but my cab. And I was driving. I had a bacon and cheese, extra cheese, pepperoni pizza that I was delivering to a freak. It was just a freak who could bend themselves where they can do incredible things. They can hide in baskets. They can suck their own privates. They can do all kinds of things because they're freaks. And I had to get this pizza hot to the freak. And the rain was just so intense. This rain was more intense than a pitcher, a major league professional baseball pitcher trying to close out a no-hitter or a perfect game. I mean, this intensity, this kind of intensity was how a surgeon is when they're trying to operate on a president who's been shot. And I'm not just talking about the president of the United States. I'm talking about like the president of Dairy Queen, the president of John Deere, just presidents of different corporations. You have to be an intense surgeon. The rain was coming down with an intensity that was even greater than the intensity of a child looking at a toy it had never seen before, and the toy was shiny. Or did you ever see a cat playing with the string? That kind of intensity the rain was coming down with. And I had to go toward a freak with the cheese, extra cheese, bacon, pepperoni pizza. And I was wading through the winter. Wading through the water. I had to abandon my Uber / Uber Eats / Lyft / Bloodmobile / Therapymobile / Bookmobile / Instacart / DoorDash / Riss. You know what I'm talking about, the gig economy. It was my only way to earn enough money that I could stay behind on all my bills. If I didn't do this job, I would only be very behind. Now I'm just behind. I'm talking about ass. Anyway, I was lifting the pizza over my head, wading through a raging torrent of a river, an atmospheric river that was coming from the Pacific. Why I was still delivering pizzas in apocalyptical conditions, I don't know. Maybe it's I needed to distract myself from the apocalypse. I remember listening to a podcast that kept saying people just keep distracting themselves from this horrible apocalypse. Well, what are we supposed to do? The only thing that gives me meaning is delivering hot food to freaks. And let me tell you something, freaks deserve hot food as much as anybody else. And I'm talking about not only people who can bend themselves into positions where they can give themselves cunnilingus or fellatio, which is also a flavor of ice cream now. Have you tried the new fellatio from Ben & Jerry's? It has Jimmy Fallon's picture on it. Nobody knows why. By the way, Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon are on Ben & Jerry's flavors, and nobody knows why. They don't understand the marketing. Why not have, the picture of failed people on there? Or the people who've been canceled, like Charlie Rose, Invasive Caramel Swirl. Matt Lauer, I have a button under my desk that doesn't let you out caramel swirl. Why can't we have flavors like that? But that's neither hither nor thither as I waded through this atmospheric river. And by the way, Hither and Thither were a terrific vaudeville team back in the 1920s until Hither killed Dither in his sleep with a vaudeville prop. Nobody knew what the vaudeville props were back then. They were so disparate and unique. But they were things that made people on the periphery of society earn a living. Little vaudeville props that Hither killed Thither with. I'm wading across this river. Not waiting, like waiting for Godot or waiting for the DMV or waiting for whatever. This was wading. W-A-D-I-N-G. Oh, I like when you go... Anyway, the water was up to my chin, and I saw the freak going, "Oh, yeah!" I didn't know he had a speech thing as well, but I guess when you're tied up in a fucking knot like a freak, because you don't have any joints, you don't have any bones. This freak was boneless. You ever deliver a large extra cheese with bacon and pepperoni to a boneless freak in an atmospheric river storm? Well, I did. The freak took the pizza and he said, "Oh
yeah. Thanks for joining us on another sultry sexual edition of Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
That felt good. We haven't done it driving.
I want
in the rain
Matt Lauer ice cream. I've got a. Could I
it's
get
a long title?
Could I get a half pint if I've gotten a button under my desk caramel swirl?
The full title is I got a button under my desk that doesn't let the young ladies out.
Yeah,
who are my interns.
Do you have a pop like like kind of the flavor of the locked behind a door?
How about do you have any the Guantanamo zippered hood vanilla chocolate fudge?
It's the new energy drink.
Yeah, energy.
It's water. Get your waterboarding energy drink today.
Yeah.
You want to get hydrated as fast as possible? Try waterboarding.
The Pentagon starts putting out products like that, you know. The Killing Fields Gatorade. Or whatever. Yeah. Proxy War Vanilla Wafers. People fight our wars, but they're your wafers. We supply them with the weapons that could go to infrastructure in cities and college education, daycare, etc., but instead they go to killing people all across the globe. And these vanilla wafers are for you. What bits haven't we done lately? We haven't done a bunch. As we're driving in the rain, we did a guided last episode.
We did an Allen Margaret last episode.
Let's do... No, we didn't. Not with Steve. That was
no, you're right. Not with Steve. I was
do an
Allen
Allen
most
Margaret.
recent. All right.
Let's do an Allen Margaret. Because we haven't done a lot of bits lately. We've been just chatting.
And now, checking in with Al and Margaret, the couple living inside of Eddie Pepitone's head.
Margaret, I just want to say that I'm sorry I didn't wipe my feet last night. I know you got very upset about that. Well, you really, really brought in a lot of shit on your feet. Margaret, I keep telling you that was Shinola. Al, it wasn't Shinola. Shinola doesn't smell. How do you know, Margaret, what Shinola smells like? Nobody knows what Shinola is. Well, then how can you say you brought in Shinola? Checkmate, Al! Checkmate! All right. You got me, Margaret. But let me tell you something. If you emasculate me, I won't be able to make love to you. Oh, really? Let me tell you something, Al. I bought a culotte that is so sexy. Culotte? What the hell is that? It's a one-piece. Yeah. Yeah, I bought a culotte that's so sexy. On the back, it has a picture of Carlos Santana when he was in rehab. And on the front is a picture of Eric Clapton yelling at an immigrant. What kind of fucking culotte? Where did you get this? I got it in a specialty store by the train. I told you I don't want you going near that train. Well, Crazy Al. Crazy Al. That's what I should call you. Why? Because I don't want you near a train? Yes, Al. Trains are a mode of transport. Yeah, but we haven't upgraded our rail system, Margaret, in this country because all our money goes to goddamn war. Al, that may be the case, but what we do have here... Did you say hair or here? Oh, you nitpicking nitwit. Margaret, don't say the N-word to me. Al, why are we fighting? It's over trains as usual. We always fight over trains. You remember when I started making fun of H&O Railroad? No. Well, it happened. You remember when I made fun of the Amtrak and the bullet train? I remember you didn't like the silver bullet Amtrak trains, and I loved it. I just want to apologize. The silver bullet train did turn out to be good. They had nice eating cars. But anyway, I just want to say I love you. Now, I'm going to go put that culotte on now. I don't know about, Eric Clapton yelling at an immigrant and Carlos Santana in rehab. I don't know if those images are going to get me turned on. Wait till you see how it fits. I'll be right back. Why don't you just hum a song to yourself while I'm changing? Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba. I'm back. Wow. You're a quick change artist, huh? Well, you know I'm related to Houdini. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is new information, Maggie. First of all, don't call me Maggie. I don't want to be associated with Margaret Thatcher, that Reaganite fuck who fucked over the Brits and was Reagan's right-hand man, Iron Maggie. I call her a man. All right. Margaret, since when are you a relative of Houdini? My great-great-grandfather was Houdini's roadie for a while. He would carry the doves, the little birds, and the rope and the chains. Sounds like a dominatrix guy. No. Houdini was wrapped... Look, we could talk about Houdini all day. But god damn it, you look fetching in that Clapton Santana culotte. I knew you would like it. Can I ask you one question? Shoot. Are we real?
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Checking In with Al and Margaret, the couple living inside of Eddie Pepitone's head.
Boy, that ended on a cliffhanger, huh?
It's good. Are we real?
Oof.
By the way, you ever hang out by trains?
A little bit. Why?
I used to hang out by some trains.
In Central Cali?
Yeah. I used to put rocks on the tracks and all kinds of stuff as a kid.
It is funny. Not funny, but it is funny. God. It's wild that kids, and I did the same type of thing, like your destructive impulses.
Yes.
Are very accessible, and for us we did it on trains and highways, but putting things across the tracks,
yes,
that hopefully would derail them and cause carnage. And we used to put like logs across a highway. That was not cool.
Did you really?
Yeah, we used to put big fucking logs.
Jesus.
Luckily we didn't do it like around a corner.
Yeah.
Where people, man, but we did a lot of damage. One time we were chased by a guy because we would watch from the hills overlooking the highway.
Yeah. Is this in Jersey?
It's in Staten Island.
Staten Island.
There was not much to do in Staten Island.
Yeah.
A lot of us would pick at scabs. And what I mean by scabs is people who cross the picket line.
Yeah. You gotta pick at them.
You gotta pick at
those
it.
Guys.
Those guys are pricks. They're
right.
people who don't understand that you have to stand in solidarity.
That phenomena, there's not a lot of shit to do, creates some of the best memories when you do the random bullshit of sitting on a hill and looking at the log you just put across the highway. Like those type of memories are, I mean, and not the the ones that potentially kill drivers or anything, but those type of memories as a child are great. Like those things you do to make up for the fact that there's nothing to do, you know?
Yeah, you have to make your own fun.
Yeah. When I was a freshman in high school, I think it was a summer between junior and junior high and high school, where the church would let us make videos, and they'd give us like stuff and so I had to do this series of me trying to get to summer camp to promote summer camp. But we did this whole thing where I'm trying to get to summer camp, so I ride a tricycle across the railroad tracks. And then we did a camera cut, and I'm wearing a huge hat, and we put a dummy on a tricycle on the tracks and filmed the train hitting the dummy.
You did?
Yeah.
The train didn't stop?
They couldn't stop.
Because
yeah, so we put like it's and we showed it at church. Like, come to summer camp. Kevin can't make it.
Way.
And I would literally be trying to get to summer camp and getting killed. Even at one point I got hit by the train. Another point I fell off a bridge and a farmer shot me in the gut with a shotgun that I had put a watermelon in a dummy for. And
oh my God.
Yeah, and we were having the best
How
time.
old were you?
I was probably 12, 13. But
because I was putting the logs across highways, I was about 48.
Oh, okay. See, now this is good because I've been bored lately, and I need.
Now
these
that's
type
the
of
thing.
things.
That's the thing. Adults get bored too. Mm-hmm. Just because they're adults, doesn't mean they don't have anything to do. And I think more adults should be, putting logs, doing childlike things.
I was just reading.
Smoking candy cigarettes.
Oh, smoking anything, As an adult, we should get some candy cigarettes. That'd be fun.
Do they still sell them?
No,
they can't
illegal.
because they promote cigarette use. Would be the logic.
Yeah. I was just listening to Artie Lang's one of his books.
Oh,
yeah, and he was saying, if you're bored and you want to make for an exciting, because it's a book about sports betting or gambling. He goes, if you're bored, go borrow $1,000 more than you have and put it on your favorite sports team. He goes, you will have one of the greatest adventures of your life.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, that's absolutely true.
I went through a gambling period, and I couldn't take the stress of owing money.
Oh, I can't imagine.
It's just so stressful.
Yeah.
And you get calls like, this is Lou. Yeah. Look, Eddie, we need you. And I would go, Lou, do you have asthma?
Yeah, you have a stroke, Lou?
You don't sound good. I go, look, I'm talking like this so you fucking get the point. We're going to put your head in a fucking vice if you don't come up with that $500 you lost on the Knick game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you had asthma. No, you fucking moron. I don't know how you could bet against the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and all those fucks.
Is that true?
I did. I bet. The Knicks were really good, too. They had Ewing. They had Charles Smith turned out to be the fucking idiot who fucked it for them.
Oh, really?
But they were good. Pat Riley was coach. But the Bulls, they stood in the Knicks' way.
Legendary team from the Bulls around that time. Yeah.
Did you see the Michael Jordan doc?
Yeah.
The Last Dance? You did watch all of it, huh?
I loved it. Yeah.
It's
I really
good,
enjoyed
right?
it. Yeah,
He was a psycho.
Oh, yeah. But all the greats are a little bit crazy. Just
that's true. If you look at the porn industry, there are some nuts in that industry.
Only the best.
Ron Jeremy is in a loony bin.
Well, serves him right, man. I did a couple of shows with that guy, and he is
He's out of his.
Oh, he's out of his fucking.
I did
gourd.
one show with Ron Jeremy, by the way, for people who have good taste. Was a porn star who got convicted of all things rape.
Yes,
which I don't get. If you're fucking everything in porn, then you're going to go out and rape people. I don't. It's
it's.
But
insanity.
he was dead in the eyes. For some reason, he was drawn to comedy, so he would be at the Improv. And I remember going on stage. Oh, it was Sam Tripoli who did lunatic shows.
Yes.
With porn people, and I was on one of them, and I looked at Ron Jeremy, and there was nothing behind those eyes.
Vacant. Yeah, completely.
Vacant eyes.
And he smelled like
gone fishing.
Yeah,
said the eyes.
Really gone fit. He'd rather be doing something else, you know.
I'd rather not be Ron Jeremy, is what his sign would say.
Yeah, my other car is a Klonopin.
my other car is jail.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
Oh, well, the shows. I actually have done several shows with him, just from the random. Wow. Just randomly, a couple in Orange County, one up here in Hollywood, and he always smelled so bad. And I just putting myself in the shoes of a woman who's hired to fuck him, and then you show up and it's a guy who literally smells like piss and shit, who's vacant behind the eyes. It's like, God, it just made me feel so horrible for those. You know, I mean, I feel bad for anybody in porn. That's why I don't watch it.
Well, there's a couple of people that are doing okay.
Yeah, they need to be having a good time, though, for me to enjoy it. I need to feel...
People who film their own porn, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's consensual, and it's like, all right, Margaret, I'm going to put up the camera. Don't you dare, Al. I don't want this going on the internet. Sweetheart, first of all, we finished our segment with Pepitone. Okay, so this is just for us. I'm going to put a camera up here, and I'm going to make love to you, and we're going to film it. Are you saying I don't make love to you? Oh, come on, Margaret. I'm just being masculine. I'm making love to you. And this video is a fetish video. It's for people who get off on the, not feet, but right above the foot. You mean the ankle? Thank you. The ankle. People who are into ankle sex. Oh, wow. You know, you really do provide for this family. That's right, Margaret. I'm a hustler. Now I'm going to turn on the camera. I want you to get that stupid culotte off. I can say that now that we're not on Pepitone's segment. Well, I mean... I liked Santana being in rehab. First of all, I don't think Carlos Santana ever was in rehab. I could be wrong about that. I probably am. Because those rock and roll guys. By the way, I love Santana's. Oh, come over. Si, come over. Oi. Whatever it is. Always the Hebrew theater thing. But listen, I'm going to start filming us. Take off the culotte. I'm going to... undress.
Thanks for joining us on Apocalypse Soon with Eddie Pepitone. Of course, I'm Kevin Tiggin. If you want more Pepitone, go over to patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone and our Eddie Pep podcast, and you can get exclusive video of this show the day that it comes out. You also got exclusive stand-up clips from the man himself. If you want to see him live, go to EddiePepitone.com, and he's got just hundreds of tour dates up there. He's coming to a town near you. Eddie, you know what? He needs to see your faces.
That's right. Hi, this is Margaret. I'm trapped in this godforsaken podcast. Please call the precinct police. I don't know what you tell them, but I'm trapped.
I love that they have an OnlyFans, the idea that they would have an OnlyFans. Alan Margaret's OnlyFans.
That's pretty funny. We have to explore that maybe.
I think so.
An OnlyFans. And it's called the Alan Margaret, and it's people watching nothing because they don't exist. But within that, there's different layers.
It's you. It's just your voice and a black screen. Margaret, grab my ass.
Folks, as you can see, my ass is being massaged. Now, if you spend $20, you get to see her grab my testicles.
Welcome back to
not testicles, but testicles.
Testicles. Guided meditation, Alan Margaret, OnlyFans. It's all blended. But yeah, that's it, folks. For
all
this
right.
week.
We'll see you soon, everybody. Apocalypse soon. The podcast with no upside. Spread the word.